Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is finally out in our hands, and after reviewing the campaign, I finally got around to reviewing the multiplayer. And to start things off, the multiplayer is, well, it's Call of Duty. At this point, it's no secret that Call of Duty is essentially a sports title, or other racing franchises such as Forza Motorsports or Gran Turismo, where the gameplay doesn't change much from iteration to iteration. The biggest change is usually the era that the game takes place in. Aside from that, this game, from my experience, is pretty damn good. I mean, if you like Modern Warfare 2019, you're going to like Modern Warfare 2. I love the campaign. The campaign, in my opinion, was really, really good. But for this multiplayer, I mean, overall, I think it's really, really good. It improves a lot of what was in Modern Warfare 2019. However, simultaneously, it also is not as good as Modern Warfare 2019 in some retrospects. So what's good? Obviously, the visuals have been slightly improved. The audio is improved as well. I mean, there's only so much you can do when the game's still running on last-gen consoles. But overall, the game is an improvement in every area presentation-wise. Map design, I think the maps in this game are actually really, really good for the most part. The highway map is the only map that I have an issue with, mainly because it's the one map that you can really get spawn camped in. The rest of the maps, I think the spawning system does a good job of moving you around. It doesn't happen too often where I'm spawned into somebody and just die instantly. So I think overall the spawns are good. The maps designs are also really, really good. Have a good flow to it, a good mix. Much better than what was in 2019 with very camper friendly. Obviously, this game is still camper friendly, but not as bad. And then, of course, you have the gunsmith. Now, one of the things that I liked about what they did with the gunsmith, I talked about it in the beta, which is some guns can only be unlocked by going through the family of guns. So in order to get the MP5, essentially, when it's the Lockman guns, you have to use the Lockman battle rifle, then use the Lockman assault rifle, then you can use the Lockman sub, which is the MP5. So I like the system because it forces you to use guns that you otherwise may not have used, because you have to go through the family tree in order to unlock some of the weapons in the game. So I like this change. I think it's better. Another thing that I did like before it was taken away, which is when you max out your gun, you can then turn around and tune the mods and their attributes. Essentially, you can tweak the attributes so that if it's a suppressor and it increases your aim a little bit, you could push it further into improving your accuracy. However, at the expense of increasing the negative aspect, which is obviously your mobility. So I do like this change, except what ended up happening was apparently there was a bug, and when you had all 5 attachments on and they were all tuned, it would crash your game. So because of this, they have that removed that for the foreseeable future. And it brings me to the negatives of this multiplayer experience, which is bugs and glitches. First and foremost, the performance issues that I saw in the campaign remained for the multiplayer, in that every time I fire up the game from a fresh boot, and then I go in, the first match for about 20 seconds, I have heavy duty frame drops. And then eventually it will smooth itself out and then be locked for the rest of my gaming session. It's every time I boot up the game, and I don't know why. The other issue is bugs and glitches. So I spoke, obviously there was the glitch with the attachments, but there were other things that are just missing for some odd reason. An example of this is the double XP token. When you use your double XP token, nothing shows up on screen to tell you how much time is left. Nothing at all. You can go through your menus. There's nothing that says, hey, you've used that 30-minute XP token, you have 20 minutes left. There's nothing. So now it's not game breaking, but it is an inconvenience that I now have to look at the time to have an idea of how long I have before my token expires. So there are little knickknacks about this. I also heard rumblings that people on Steam are having crashes. But, I didn't experience that. I had one crash. I played the game on Battle.net, so I didn't experience anything like that. But my issues was the performance issues, as well as for some reason, why is the barracks missing? There's no it's missing. The challenges are missing. I don't understand. To me, it feels like this game needed a little bit more time in the oven. But we all know Activision. They want to get that quarterly revenue brought in. But it feels like this needed a little bit more time in the oven for it to be in tip-top shape. It's still good in my opinion. My multiplayer experience was still good. But my biggest issue is with the bugs and glitches. It needed more polish, the performance issues, as well as just certain missing features. Like for some reason, the museum map is nowhere to be found, but the F1 map that they advertised for the beta is still nowhere to be found. Like, I don't know what's going on here with that, and they never said anything. So overall, I'm going to give Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer a 7.5 out of 10, with the full game package being an overall score of 8 out of 10. This is Veteran Gamer, and I hope to see you guys next time.
Changing mag! Switching mag!
Ready to deploy.